For high school football in Minnesota. Tonight on CCX, the end of the regular season as the Champlin Park Rebels come to Maple Grove to take on the Crimson. From Maple Grove High School, John Jacobson and Ryan Iverson. And Ryan, it's been a great season for Champlin Park. Just one loss early in the season to Centennial. They come in at 6-1.
Yeah, and really that one loss, they went for a 2-point conversion at the end of the game. So they were inches away from having an undefeated season. But in talking to Coach Nick Keenan, they're a very confident group. He feels like they got all the pieces this year. A great quarterback, great running back, great lineman, and a stout defense too. So he's as confident as he's ever been. He feels like this program's heading into the end of the season with a lot of confidence.
Maple Grove's won the last two games rather handily against Osseo and Anoka. Tonight, obviously, a step up in competition against the Rebels, but Maple Grove rather comes in at 4-3, and like a lot of Coach Lombardi's teams, really hang their hat on defense.
Well, and one of Coach Lombardi's characteristics for his teams are they're never going to quit. They're going to play hard, and they're going to play great defense. Their defense has generated a lot of points, whether it's in the return game or interceptions for touchdowns. So they have a stout defense. Anytime you play great defense, you give yourself a chance to win. And offensively, I've been really impressed with what I've seen on film from them, John. Their quarterback is throwing accurate. He's got a very strong arm. I was watching again in pregame, and every time I see him in person, I think he's got a great arm. They got two very capable running backs. So I think this is going to be a really competitive game here tonight.
So look at our key players, starting with the Rebels. Sean Shipman's really had a nice year offensively out of the backfield, runs hard, and he's going to be a tough guy for the Crimson to stop.
Well, he's got great speed. He's a lot bigger than he was last year. He's put on some muscle and some weight, just right around 800 yards, 8 touchdowns on the year. But he's their big play, home run getter. And I feel like his stats could be a lot higher, too, if they weren't blowing some teams out, getting more reps for him. So he's going to be elusive. He's a wonderful, wonderful running back. Maple Grove, with their great defense, they got to limit him. They got to put the pressure on Jace Miller, the quarterback for Champlin Park, make him beat them through the air, and he is capable of doing that as well.
Maple Grove's got some very good linebackers. We've talked about Anthony Gibson in the past, and we'll talk about him, I'm sure, tonight, but we're going to focus on Joe Schmidt, another senior.
He's a phenomenal player, and I love Coach Lombardi's defensive schemes. They bring pressure. They come from different sides, different angles. You're never quite sure who's coming in what gap, but you have to have very athletic linebackers, and you have to have very smart linebackers, and Joe Schmidt, really, really smart. He gets in the backfield, 11 tackles for loss. He's going to be all over the field, and his main goal tonight, limit Sean Shipman, who we talked about. So we'll see who wins our key player of the game. Whoever wins that battle will probably win the game tonight.
It'll be a good one. The playoffs start next week in Class 6A. Champlin Park Maple Grove football live for you on CCX coming up in just a moment. We are about ready for kickoff tonight at Maple Grove High School, Champlin Park, Maple Grove football. 6A playoffs start next Friday. Maple Grove, talking to the coaches, figure either way they're probably going to be a 4 seed, almost certainly. Whereas this is a big game for Champlin Park. They can definitely be a 1 seed with a win here tonight.
Well, and I think, too, even though it might not mean anything seeding-wise for the Crimson, you want to go into the playoffs on a high note, playing well with confidence. So they're going to have a great opponent tonight in the Rebels, and you win or lose, you want to play well going into the playoffs.
Opening kickoff is returned out past the 25 to the 27-yard line, so decent starting position for the first Crimson series of the night on offense.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Maple Grove does offensively. Are they going to stick to the run and try to pound that? They got two very good running backs in Spencer Wary and in Cooper Wakescheid, too, and they're different, right? Cooper Wakescheid
Not the biggest size, but he is fast. And Nate Elms, we talked about him in the pregame, John. He's got a big arm. I'm really impressed with how well he throws the ball.
He'll step back a little bit now and into the shotgun here on the first play of the game. And he'll drop back to throw. Lofts it downfield, and it is intercepted. Picked off by DJ Miles all the way inside the 20 and down to the 15.
Well, that's how you want to start, John, when you're on the road in a hostile environment. Your defense first out on the field, first play of the game. What a great play by DJ Miles. Not only a great catch, but what a return, physical return. And I'll tell you, when you throw that ball down the middle of the field, you don't want it to hang in the air like that. You allow linebackers and safeties to get underneath it. DJ Miles, red pass, got some good depth on his drop. Looks like a running back on that return.
So Champlin Park set up first down and 10 at the 13-yard line of Maple Grove after the interception. They fake the handoff to Shipman. Miller rolling out, throws toward the end zone, and it is caught for a touchdown. Brock Johnson, the senior wide receiver, on the grab, and just like that, Champlin Park leads 6-0.
You couldn't script a better start for the Rebels. This is what great teams do on the road. They want to, show their characteristics, show their toughness, show their dominance early. You get a pick on the first play on defense and great play action. None of that happens if you don't have a great running back. And Sean Shipman, great play action, and Jace Miller's got that strong arm, and he finds his favorite target, Brock Johnson, for his 5th touchdown of the year. What a start.
Noah Vogelpohl is an excellent kicker, gets the extra point, and it's 7-0. There you see the fake, the rollout, and this guy is open.
Well, a couple things about that. Jace Miller is a big boy, 6'4", 220 pounds, but he's a great athlete, good basketball player. You see he can throw on the run, and you see the strength of his arm, too. That's a ball where if that's not a tight throw low and away like that, that could be picked off. But that was an accurate throw on the run, and a nice job by Brock Johnson going down to get it, concentrating and reeling in his 5th touchdown. So I think if you're Coach Nick Keenan on the bus here and you say, how could this game possibly start better? Yeah. You get an interception, and the next play you capitalize. And a lot of times with good games and competitive teams, it comes down to turnovers.
Johnson with his 5th touchdown catch of the season, 11th touchdown pass of the season for Jace Miller. And it looks like we just did this, the kickoff. Vogelpohl line up another one.
Well,
to kick off.
What's funny too is one of the things I was going to talk about Nate Elms, John, is that he takes care of the football. Only 2 interceptions coming into this game.
It doesn't go into the end zone, and the Crimson have to return it and won't even get back out to the 10. I'm pretty sure Luke Raymond thought that was going to keep bouncing, and it was obviously he's going to stop short of the end zone, so he had to pick it up, and by then the Rebels were on top of him.
I think he thought it might initially go out of bounds.
Yeah, out of bounds, right.
It took a great Champlin Park bounce, so unlucky bounce for Maple Grove, but this is what you love to see right now. You're facing some adversity, you're down. You couldn't have had a worse start, and you saw Coach Lombardi talk to his group, kind of regather them and say, hey, let's go, let's sustain a drive now, forget what we did. And they come out in an unbalanced line. Generally, they're going to run to that right side there.
Oh, be a handoff up the middle for 6 yards. There is a flag that comes out on the first rushing play tonight. It goes to Cooper Wegscheid, and we'll see what the flag has for us. It looks like it's going to be going back against Maple Grove. So why not? For Maple Grove, it's not been good the first 3 plays from scrimmage, right?
And what you got to be careful of too is you don't want to compound your mistakes, right? Don't let one mistake lead to a second mistake, lead to a third mistake. Okay, it hasn't been a great start, and that's unfortunate because that would have been a nice gain on first down. Now you're set back 1st and 15. You don't need to get it all back. You don't have to force some throws. Stick to what they do well.
And they'll give it to Wegscheid again. and gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that was about it. As he was brought down. Noah Link on the tackle as you look at the starters for Maple Grove on offense.
Well, these linebackers, we talked about how good they are for Maple Grove on defense. They're also really good for the Champlin Park Rebels, and Noah Link you got to see there. Obi Avalecha, number 7, is phenomenal as well. So Champlin Park puts up big numbers offensively, but defensively they're only giving up 12 points per game, and they're a very stout defense. And they've played some good offenses too throughout the year, so they've been challenged.
Second down and long. Elms wants to throw under pressure. He won't get a chance. And he'll go down just outside the end zone.
There's a look at Champlin Park's defensive
Sam
starters.
Knudsen, number 99, in on that sack of Elms.
Well, Champlin Park only rushed 4 there, so they were able to drop the remaining 7. It looked like it was going to be a quick slant for Maple Grove. Elms did a nice job, at least stepping up so he wasn't in the end zone there. And now you got to be careful, right? Because Champlin Park's going to be unleashing a pass rush. You don't want to compound with another interception here. You want to take care of the football.
You saw the names of a very stout Champlin Park defense. As you third down throw, Elms going deep and incomplete. With a nice ball in that it wasn't going to be intercepted at that spot on the field, trying to get it to Owen Overley. Just overshot him a little bit. It's incomplete, and Maple Grove will have to punt.
Great play call, right? It's quick, easy, throw. You're not going to get under pressure. And to your point, John, it wasn't going to be intercepted. It's either going to be caught or incomplete. But again, Elms showing off that big, strong arm, just about a foot or so overthrown. And we talked about this the last time we broadcasted Maple Grove. Elms only completing 41% of his passes, but a lot of them are just like that, where they're just a foot or 6 inches too far, very close to being completed.
Daniel Baltus with the punt, but not a long one, and Champlin Park will have good field position again. And they're going to spot this at the 25-yard line, so 23-yard kick. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Crimson from there.
Well, how often do we see, John, that football's such a game of momentum, right? When one team's got it going, it seems like it keeps rolling that way. And this is where Maple Grove, and really the strength of their team, their defense, has to try to turn that tide, has to try to get a big play to switch that momentum onto their side.
So Miller out of the shotgun on 1st down and 10. He'll hand off to Shipman and gets 3 yards, close to 4, down to the 21-yard line. He'll bring up a 2nd down and 6. Last one off the bottom of the pile, Joe Bulow, really good defensive lineman. As you look at the offensive starters now for Champlin Park, good offensive line. It was just a solid team overall.
Yeah, they play balanced football. They run the ball well. They're capable of throwing the ball, and they play great defense and special teams. They're a really complete team.
2nd and 6, give to Shipman. He's got a 1st down inside the 15, down to the 14-yard line. Tackle made by Nate Becker along with Brandon Bortnam.
Well, one of the things to keep an eye on, watch these guys up front. You can see good size, excellent job of walling off the defensive line there up front, great blocking. I always say, you show me a great running back and I'll show you a great offensive line. And there you go. You see the size up front. They're going to have their hands full with those athletic linebackers at Maple Grove, but if they can get their body into them, they're going to have the size advantage.
Miller's going to keep this one himself on a design run. He'll get inside the 10, down to the 8-yard line. A strong runner, and he gains 6 yards, or close to it here on 1st down.
Yeah, and Anthony Gibson made that tackle. The thing is, when you tackle Jace Miller, you could hit him, but he's so big and powerful that he's still going to move forward. Contact was at 2 or 3 yards, but able to move forward. And there's going to be a timeout for Maple Grove. Great timeout call right there, I think, by Coach Lombardi, sensing that this is about to become a 2-score game, trying to just calm everyone down, take a breath, remember your job and what we're here to do. And all it takes is one little play, John, to stem that
right.
momentum.
Maple Grove As I mentioned, back-to-back wins, defeating Osseo a couple weeks ago here on CCX, and last week winning at Anoka. Their losses this year have been to Centennial, Tutino Grace, and St. Michael Albertville. Wins earlier in the year against Edina and Blaine.
Well, that's the thing. Maple Grove's played a tough schedule. Those 3 losses to Centennial, who's having a great year, and to St. Michael Albertville, who's been in the top 5 most of the season. I mean, they've played a very good schedule. Tutino Grace having a resurgence this year as well.
Miller will hand off to Shipman, and good tackle inside on that run. And drop for no gain on that play. As you look at the Maple Grove defense, it was Bulow on the tackle on that last play, the senior nose guard.
Yeah, and if Maple Grove is successful, we're going to call his name a lot. He's playing nose guard, but he's got to use that quickness in his hands to be able to get to the backfield and get Shipman, get contact with him before he's allowed to get to that second level, because if he does, he's amazing.
3rd and 3, and Shipman will get no gain again. Sent sideways by Gibson, who's really had an outstanding year at linebacker.
Well, he's coming off 3 interceptions last week, 2 of them returned for touchdowns. So very athletic player and a great tackler, and you can see there's contact right there at the line of scrimmage, and then when you got those linebackers that are sure tacklers, that's a great feeling to have behind you when you're a defensive lineman.
So a couple of big defensive plays by Maple Grove will force Champlin Park into a field goal try. I mentioned Vogelpohl's got excellent legs, so this is not a long try for him at all. 24 yards, up and through, and it's a 2-score lead for Champlin Park. 10-0 now as we near the midway point of the first quarter.
Yeah, 2 points, John. 1, that's a win for Maple Grove's defense. I thought after Coach Lombardi called that timeout, they answered the bell and got 2 nice stops there to hold them to a field goal from where they started. And 2, that's a 24-yard field goal. Do you think right now, for $1,000, you could go make a 24-yard field goal?
I made one of the NFL Experience when the Super Bowl was here from about 30 yards.
Wow.
For how much?
$1,000.
No, too much pressure. There's no way I'd make it.
But, you know, it's one of those things you watch college and the NFL, you take that for granted, those 3 points. But in high school, to have a kicker that you trust, you know, to be able to kick, you know, from that, even that distance. I mean, how many missed extra points do you see? It takes a good snapper and a good holder, and then you got to have a good kicker too. And that's especially when you get indoors into the state tournament where you don't have the elements, having a kicker is a really, really big deal.
The coach, Matt Lombardi, now his 9th season as head coach. 66-29 after many years as the defensive coordinator for Wayzata. Won state championships there.
Well, the thing about Coach Lombardi is I talked to a lot of people connected with high school football. I've never met someone that didn't have a positive thing to say about him. All of his players adore him, and fans and other coaches. He's just a wonderful football guy. He's built a great program here in Maple Grove. He's got a great demeanor. And I know his kids love to play for him. So he's the epitome of what a high school football coach should be.
This kick into the end zone. So it's a touchback, and Maple Grove will start at the 20. And then, again, you talk about the field goal a moment ago. It's having guys that can get touchbacks in high school football is not a given from your kicker.
No, absolutely. And obviously it's not a common occurrence to get a kickoff return for a touchdown, but it can happen. And so why not just eliminate that chance? If you got the leg to do that, it's definitely a benefit.
So 3rd series of the first quarter here for Maple Grove. This is Wegscheid trying to turn the corner and gets around to a flag, comes out late. He got about 5 yards. Helping to drive him out was DJ Miles with an interception on the first play of the game. We'll see what this penalty is.
I think they're going to get a late hit there out of bounds, but Maple Grove does such a good job with Wegscheid. They run that sprint handoff to the outside using his speed.
Yeah. So a 5-yard gain and then a 15-yard penalty gives Maple Grove the first down.
Nice job blocking, getting to the outside here. And I'll tell you, it's tough when you're a defender and you're you're flying full speed to make that tackle, and to pull up at the last second, it's not an easy thing to do. Especially when your instincts are in your coach to run to the ball and go to the whistle. It's not easy to just pull up and stop. So you can appreciate that type of of hustle and getting to the ball.
Spencer Weary's in the backfield now, play action. Helms going downfield with it, and it's intercepted. Picked off deep. This is Edmund O'Cansey, and he'll return it back to the 45 of Maple Grove.
Maple Grove taking the shot down the field. Again, a beautiful looking throw by Helms. I'll tell you what I loved on that play is O'Cansey actually got off of his guy. He was on someone further down the field. Watch him come up and make this play. He left his receiver, saw the ball in the air, and that is a playmaker. That's someone who's a ball hawk, going to get the ball. And I'll tell you, Champlin Park, very opportunistic, and they're winning the turnover battle. They've won it all year, and in this game's no exception. They're up 2 again with great field position.
First down and 10 from the 45, and Shipman the last 3 carries has been stopped for close to nothing by Maple Grove's defense. Another interior run there, gains maybe a yard on Shipman's 5th carry of the first quarter.
Yeah, Nate Becker doing a nice job from that defensive end coming down to make the tackle. The problem is you put a lot of pressure on your defense, right? You're short field again. We're down 2 scores. Defense, we need you again to come up and make some great plays for us. And I'll tell you, Champlin Park, like a lot of teams that like to run the football, they start slowly wearing you down. When you got a great running back who seems to get stronger as the game goes on, like Sean Shipman does.
Second down and 9. They'll go to Shipman again. Cuts it back up inside and has got a first down inside the 35, down to the 34-yard line. Quite a nice little cutback up inside before he's tackled by Jaden Matchett.
And it doesn't look like much, but right there you can see the hustle that takes to get out there, and he stops on a dime. And like all good running backs, when you do make those cuts, you keep those legs going. He's able to maintain that north and south speed and picks up a big first down.
Gain of 10. Miller roll out. He's going to keep it. Out of the 30 to the 29, maybe the 28. Ball is loose. It's picked up by Maple Grove, but they're going to say he was down. Miller's down at the 28. It'll be second down after a gain of 6.
Again, pretty simple play, just a quarterback sweep to the left side there, and he's such a big kid, even with contact right there. Nice tackle, good form tackle. Let's see if we can. Oh yeah, he's definitely down.
Yep.
But that's the kind of play Maple Grove needs, is to strip that ball. If they're able to get a turnover, their team feeds off of takeaways and scoring with their defense. That's the type of thing Maple Grove's going to really have to try to make a play here.
On second down and 4, the give is to Shipman. First down, makes a nice move. He's inside the 20, down to the 18. Gain of 9 and another Crimson first down. The Rebels on the move.
Well, you can see again how shifty he is. There's a cut right there, and then watch this little move right there, using that left arm to swim through the defender. And again, when he does get contact, he's gotten a lot stronger, a lot more physical, able to get an extra couple yards. At Champlin Park, I get the feeling, John, that they're going to run the football and they're going to make that defense start coming up into the box, and then they have that ability with play action to throw it over the top. So be aware here of play action.
They'll give it to Shipman. Hit and driven back. That's a tackle for loss by Anthony Gibson.
I will tell you, of all the players we've seen this year, I don't know if there's a better sure tackler than that young man, Anthony Gibson. He's all over the field. Seems to just have a great nose for the football. And watch him come right through here and just meet Shipman right at the line of scrimmage. And that is a formed tackle. He's low, driving backwards. He's a wonderful linebacker.
Second down and 11 from the Maple Grove 19. Play action. Miller throwing, completing. He's got Johnson again in the end zone. Touchdown, Champlin Park.
But I tell you, John, play action, and the only reason that throw was there. Not a difficult throw. Brock Johnson just running a seam right up the middle of the field. But that little play action gets those linebackers to fill, and they're coming to the line of scrimmage. And Jace Miller, and don't underestimate either, being 6'4", 6'5", having that height, able to see that seam right down the middle of the field. He fires a strike, and Brock Johnson's in with his second touchdown of the game.
Vogelpohl's extra point is up, and it is good. It is 17-0 Champlin Park. With 2:51 to play here in the first quarter.
I don't know if CCX, do we have our own QBR formula? Because if we did, Jace Miller's 2 for 2 with 2 touchdowns. But their play action, again, you see at the top of your screen, those linebackers, all it takes is 1 or 2 steps forward. And that throw, you get it out quickly and accurately. It's before the safeties can come up and make a play on it. And that's just, I'll tell you right now, this Champlin Park offense, they're in a great rhythm. And you get the feeling that when you're a play caller and you're operating on full cylinders, you got everything at your disposal. You run. Meanwhile, knowing you're setting that up for play action. And it worked to perfection there. And if you can keep defenses guessing, when defenses know what's coming, especially Coach Lombardi, they can stop it. But when you're not sure what's going to happen, that's when you become really tough to defend.
14 points off turnovers already here in the first quarter for Champlin Park. Kickoff, handled on a bounce. And up the middle, into the open, Micah Bay. Down the sidelines, and he is going to go for a touchdown.
Wow. That is exactly the kind of play Maple Grove needed, and they find their spark in special teams.
Didn't field it quite cleanly, but Bay picks it up, goes right up the middle, and how about that for Maple Grove to get on the board and make it 17-6.
They get a spark from a sophomore. Bay picks that up, and all he needed was just some room to get to that next level, and got great speed. And you see the Maple Grove fans, now they have something to cheer about. And we talk about momentum, John. Those are the kind of plays that can turn the tide of a game.
Spencer Wary for the extra point. Up and through. And just like that, it's 17-7.
You know, that's complementary football, right? Your offense is struggling, so you pick it up in special teams. And great vision. You can see his head. Look at his eyes. He's looking at the field, seeing where those seams are. Able to cut through the middle of that defense and then get to the outside, and he is fired up, as he should be. I'll tell you, sometimes when you fumble the ball, it throws off the kick coverage. You see great job blocking, a lot of black jerseys doing their job, holding their blocks. And a really nice job by Luke Raymond running down the field. He's able to wall off a couple of Champlin Park defenders as well. And that's the kind of spark the Crimson needed. And just in the nick of time here. His reward, he gets to kick off now.
Well, the kickers don't always have to go down the field as hard, right? They kind of lay back. So
But you know, those kind of plays are just a shot in the arm for your whole team.
No doubt.
Your defense comes out now, they feel, and hey, we're back in this. Let's go, and it seems to just propel everyone to kind of get in gear. So that's just a huge play.
Return for Champlin Park by Tommy Ollero at a kickoff return for a touchdown a couple weeks ago himself. And he stopped here, and Champlin Park will have the ball at the 31 with 2:31 to play here in the first quarter. Already their 4th time on offense.
Yep. Well, the other nice thing, too, after that score is you get to kick off, so now the field is flipped a little bit. You know, we see Champlin Park have short fields and great field position, you know, all 3 times that they had the ball on offense. So now if Maple Grove can hold and do their part, they flip field position, too. So it's a big possession here for both teams.
The sophomore, one of the sophomores, get brought up to varsity this year, and a big play to get the Crimson some momentum. And on defense, it carries over. Shipman Has nothing going in the middle, and that defense is Buelow helping make the stop. Number 58 for Maple Grove. No gain.
Well, and you see he's fired up. You like that emotion after that. So that's what I mean. You have great plays, feed off of other great plays, and defense does a nice job of getting a good push there and getting off blocks. That's what you have to do against Shipman. You got to try to get him some contact in that backfield to not allow him to get to that next level.
Second down and 10. Shipman will get outside. He's got some room out there. Get out past the 35 to the 38-yard line. Weary helping to bring him down. Good gain of 7 yards. It'll be third down and 3.
Well, great job sealing the edge that time by Champlin Park. And I thought Wary came up, made a great one-on-one tackle. That's not easy to do in open field there, but that could have been, 12, 15-yard regain instead. Great tackle to prevent it from being a first down.
And Maple Grove looks like they made a jump that's going to cost them a first down.
That's huge. Smart call by Coach Nick Keenan there. Try to get a free first down. Use the aggressiveness of Maple Grove against them, and for the first time went with a hard count, able to get that jump. And third and 3, third and 4. That was a big play. That Maple Grove comes up with a stop there. They get the ball back. Instead, you give them a free first down.
New set of downs for the Rebels from the 43. Under a minute to play here in the opening quarter. There's not been one lacking for action. Shipman up the middle. Has got a hole and down to the 30-yard line and brought down at the 29. Gain of 28 for Shipman on his 11th carry of the first quarter.
Right up the middle. You can see great. Did you see that lead block by, I couldn't tell what number that was. Great blocking up front, and then I like what Shipman does too. He's not trying to patiently wait. He hits that hole, he sees the opening, and he goes. And there's no goofing around. He just gets to that next level and uses those speed. He's got that great high leg kick action on his run, and exciting player to watch, but really well done up front.
He'll get the carry again, stays on his feet after almost being tripped up at the line of scrimmage, and as well to get 3. Here's a look at that previous play again, Ryan.
Well, let's see, watch that block right there. Look at that block. Unbelievable by number 29. Yeah.
Darius Givens, the fullback, makes the great block.
I mean, if you get blocking from your other back, look at that. That's what we used to call a pancake, when you'd put someone on their back.
That is the end of the first quarter. Our score, Champlin Park 17, Maple Grove 7. Back with more football on CCX after this. CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You'll also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV. John Jacobson, Ryan Iverson back at Maple Grove High School. Week 8, the regular season, the final night of high school football in the regular season tonight. And the teams will find out tomorrow in all classes who they're going to play for the playoffs.
Well, it's always kind of fun night to play on these Wednesday nights. You got MEA this week, so kids are fired up, and right before the start of the playoffs. So
Miller throwing to the end zone, tipped and incomplete, trying to go to Johnson again. And broken up by Maple Grove. Brandon Bortnam in on the stop on the coverage for Champlin Park.
Oh, and a dangerous throw. Again, nice strong arm. That ball underthrown. I'll tell you what I love. See Bortnam get his head turned around and make a play at the ball. So often you see cornerbacks in position, but they don't see the ball. They don't make a play on it. Bortnam that time did a great job of getting his head around, getting his hands up. And that's another reason why you never quit on a play. That ball was tipped. And if you're Champlin Park or Maple Grove, you got to keep playing, stay in that area. You may be able to catch that off of that deflection.
3rd down and 7 for Champlin Park. Miller, time to throw over the middle, and it is intercepted. Picked off by Maple Grove. It's Bortnam. We'll have the pass breakup, now gets an interception.
Oh, just a beautiful play by Bortnam. That ball, I think, was severely underthrown or thrown behind the receiver. Let's just see. Yeah, just looked like that ball was not an accurate throw. I don't know if it came out of Jace Miller's hand differently. But you can see that's about 5 or 6 yards underthrown. I don't know if they were maybe not on the same page, but a nice job by Bortnam again, John, making a play on the ball, reacting to it. He makes a great catch.
So a little momentum for Maple Grove. They get the touchdown, the kickoff return, a stop here on the interception, get the ball back. So look at Nick Keenan, second-year head coach at Champlin Park. Good season last year and 6-1 so far, 13-4 mark in his 2 years. Was on the Champlin Park staff years ago, went up to Big Lake for a few years as head coach, and now back in District 11 as the Rebels head football coach.
Well, Nick was 2 years above me at Eden Prairie. Very, very good football player, very smart football player. And I'll tell you, he's just done a great job with Champlin Park. He's got them playing as well as anybody in the state.
Elms with a completion gets it to Overly for a first down for Maple Grove out past the 35-yard line.
Well, that time Elms did a great job. He gets out of the pocket. Watch him set his feet, knowing he's about to take a hit too. That is not easy to do. And he just throws a strike. And Overly makes a nice catch, and I think he was expecting contact right away. He saw the Maple Grove sideline telling him, go, and able to get some yards after the catch. But nice job getting your quarterback some time, and a nice delivery, too, that time by Elms.
First down and 10 from the 36 now. They'll give to Wakescheid again, trying to bounce outside, cutting it back in. And he'll gain a couple of yards to the 38, maybe the 39. Setting up 2nd down and 7.
Well, Noah Link, number 45 for Champlin Park, he's not going to get credit for making that tackle. But he did a great job of setting the edge, not allowing Wakescheid to get to the outside. He has to cut it back. And that's where you just trust your compadres coming down the line to make that play. That's why you do pursuit drills all the time. Set the edge. Do not let a guy like Cooper Wakescheid, who's got such great speed, don't let him get to the outside.
2nd down and 8 from the 38. Just underway here in the second quarter. 17-7, Champlin Park leading. Wakescheid up the middle across the 40. Brought down at the 42-yard line. They bring up 3rd down. And another tackle made by Sam Knutson.
There's some hitting going on down there. That was a nice tackle. And a nice job by Wakescheid, too, coming right up the middle, getting positive yards. That's important. You set up a 3rd down in a manageable distance here, 3rd and 3.
Ball just shy of the 44-yard line on 3rd down for Maple Grove. Now to hand off, and Wakescheid drop for a loss back at the 40-yard line. Link with the tackle for loss, a loss of 4.
He said, no more of this setting the edge and letting other people get tackles. I'm coming back there, and Wakescheid did not have a chance. Look at him. As soon as he gets that, who does he see but Noah Link right in his screen. Great tackle. That's a big play there on the 3rd and 3.
Second punt of the night for Maple Grove. Is just getting this one away. A line drive kick, fair caught back at the 29-yard line. That's where Maple Grove or Champlin Park will start. Cam Hammonds on the fair catch.
It was a heck of a punt, wasn't it? With that kind of rush. Not able to get much air on it, but a nice line drive punt. And at least able to change the field position. So a nice, excellent job. Special teams that time by Maple Grove.
Well, let's see how Maple Grove's offense comes out here after the turnover on their last drive when they're starting to move the ball again. They have a 10-point lead.
Well, Coach Keenan, talking to him before the game, just said, hey, we play really good defense. We run the football. We just can't turn the ball over. We got to take care of the football. And I'm sure he had that conversation with his quarterback after that last throw.
Only a yard gain there for Shipman already. 13 carries for him in the game for 71 yards.
I think he's a guy, if Champlin Park had its way, John, his carries would be 25 to 35 in that range. He's consistent. He's big enough. He's physical enough to sustain it, and he's always got that chance for that home run play too. So you got to keep feeding it to him, and it's just a matter of time before he breaks one.
Quick throw to Johnson out on the edge, and he gets out to the 35-yard line. Not a lot there. A gain of 4. It'll be 3rd down and 5.
No, not a lot, but I'll tell you that play was made possible by number 11, Kamar Graham. The other wide receiver out there did a great job engaging his man and freed him up just to be able to get some positive yards there. Both teams doing a pretty nice job of positive plays. We haven't seen a ton of penalties, and we haven't seen a ton of negative plays as well.
And Maple Grove, looks like they jumped offside again for the second time tonight.
And second time on 3rd and short, too.
Right.
That's the thing. These have been 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. And, Maple Grove's coming with some pressure, and you just got to be able to time it. You got to have that discipline to watch the football. And those kinds of things, I know you can see Coach Lombardi right there not pleased.
First down and 10, ball at the 41 of Champlin Park for the Rebels. Miller roll out left on the run. He will run the ball. He gets out to midfield and close to a first down. Nate Becker bringing him down. He'll be very close to where the first down marker is. They're going to give him the 10.
Yeah, and it looked like that was a designed pass. You can see, look at Shipman doing a nice job of blocking downfield. And again, Jace Miller is a good athlete. He gets that momentum and that head of steam going. He's a load to bring down. But they are going to give him the first down.
Just inside Maple Grove territory. 3 receivers to the right. Shipman the lone back behind Miller. Miller, quick throw to the left. Completion. And then first of the night for number 88, Ty Givens. Saw his brother Darius with that great block at the fullback position late in the first quarter. He comes up with a catch here and a gain of 6.
Yeah, well, I love a couple things about that on first down. One, you give your quarterback, after throwing that interception, give him an easy throw to get his rhythm back. He steps into it, delivers a strike, and again, you're getting 6 yards. It's a safe pass, and it's a great play on first down when anytime you get 6 yards.
2nd and 4. The toss will go to Shipman. Strung out pretty well. It's a first down. They're going to get a flag, though. We're going to get a block in the back here. And this is going to cost the Rebels a first down. Pretty easy call there.
Yep. And I don't think it was necessary. I think at that point, Shipman was already great job just being able to contain Shipman. But I think right there, he had already gotten to the outside. You certainly love the effort, but an unnecessary block in the back. I think, Jake Johnson, number 30 there, did a nice job of stringing that out, not letting Shipman explode to the outside, even though he eventually got there. Did a nice job of slowing him down.
So the Rebels backed up all the way to their 40 now. They've got to get to the 39 of Maple Grove for a first down. Inside of 5.5 minutes to go here in a fast-moving second quarter.
Well, this is where you got to, screen passes and some type of trickery too.
They'll go to Shipman on the ground. He's got some room midfield and down to the 46-yard line. So gains a good chunk of yardage back on that play after the penalty. Match it on the tackle for Maple Grove. It'll pick up a 14.
Well, and really well blocked. You're seeing Shipman get to that second level without any contact. So really well blocked up front and down the field. And I'll tell you, by gaining that much, now you set up a third down and manageable. So that's a huge play on 2nd and 19 or 2nd and 20.
Now brings up 3rd down and 7 from the 46. Miller looking to throw, under rush from Johnson. Throws on the run, broken up, almost intercepted. A good pass breakup by Jaden Matchett. It's 4th down.
Well, Matchett did a great job breaking on the ball. He was coming from a little bit deeper. I thought Jace Miller, if there wasn't pressure there, had someone open, held onto the ball just a little bit too long, and that allowed just a great job of breaking on the football. That was pretty accurately and hard thrown, but just a great pass breakup.
Trying to get it to Johnson. And Vogelpohl, also the place kicker, back to punt for the first time tonight. Nathan Ross, Devin Hornbacher back deep for Maple Grove. And this is going to take a Rebel bounce and roll all the way down to the 20-yard line exactly.
It looked like a pretty good snap, just bobbled a little bit, and then you end up rushing it, right? Because you're feeling that pressure, and didn't get off a great kick, but fortunately for Champlin Park, got a great roll.
First and 10 for Maple Grove from their 20. They trail by 10. See the time remaining here in the first half.
Well, you got to figure, Champlin Park threw that interception when they were in the red zone. And then Maple Grove gets the kickoff return. You got to figure Maple Grove is lucky to be in this game, and with the ball and over 4 minutes left, have a chance to really go march down the field and make this a heck of a game.
Play action. Elms throws, gets a completion. He's got a first down. Out past the 30 to the 35-yard line. It's Overly, who caught a pass on the last drive. Gets his second grab of the night here. And it moves the sticks for the Crimson. 15 yards.
Well, 15 yards. He threw it all the way across the field. Nice job setting his feet. He's got good protection there. And a nice job by Overly coming back to the football there, making sure catch, and then able to again get upfield for yards after that catch. So he's caught 2 nice passes from his quarterback.
Helms will roll out, wanting to throw again. Sets his feet to the, and Overlay can't hang on to it. It's incomplete.
Well, that's one of those, again, where you know pressure's coming. You know you're about to get hit. You want to catch that and turn upfield as quick as possible, and you just take your eyes off of it just for a half a second. I'm sure that's one Overly catches 99 out of 100 times. But I like the Crimson throwing the ball a little bit, just trying to get some balance, maybe softening up that front 7 to be able to run the football on them.
2nd down and 10. They'll hand off. This is Wegscheid. He'll gain a couple 3 yards before he's brought down on the play.
I think
Devin Moore and Obi Abalacha on the top.
Yeah. And that was Wary.
Wary, excuse me. Yeah, it was.
I'll tell you what, do you notice how Champlin Park strings those out? There's nothing there immediately to get outside. They string it out just long enough for their secondary to come up and assist on those tackles. Against a lot of teams, that play right there would have gone for 7-8 yards, and against this Rebel defense, only going for 2 or 3.
Now Wegscheid back into the backfield next to Elms on 3rd down and 8. Low snap, handles it, steps up in the pocket, throws and delivers a strike for a first down into Rebels territory and down to the 43-yard line. On the pass play to Jacob Engel, the leading receiver, the junior tight end with the catch.
Oh, he's a big target too, 6'1", almost 200 pounds. What was impressive there is Nate Elms stood in the pocket while it was collapsing around him and behind him. He stood in there like Tom Brady, able to set his feet and just drove that ball. That was an accurate, hard throw right down the middle of the field.
Gain of 20.
Yeah, his interceptions this game, John, the ball kind of hung in the air a little bit. Those last couple he's thrown have been line drive strikes.
Angle in motion on first down. Elms on a design keep play is inside the 50, drives his feet down to the 49-yard line. Link on the tackle along with Moore.
We talk about Jace Miller having some good size. Well, so does Nate Elms, 6'3", 210 pounds. Scored 8 rushing touchdowns on the year, so he's a very capable runner as well. He's a powerful guy. Not a big play, but 4 or 5 yards on first down. That's a win for any offense.
Inside of 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Each team 2 timeouts remaining. 2nd down and 6 for the Crimson. Elms looking to throw. It's intercepted. Picked off and with room to run is Devin Moore. Devin Moore for a touchdown.
Wow, what a play by Devin Moore. And that's a throw Nate Elms is going to be thinking about all night long. He gets a little bit more arc on that. It's a completion, but he underthrows it. Devin Moore does a wonderful job of just getting in that passing lane. And as soon as a defender, that's your dream, John. You get this interception, you see nothing in front of you but green, but I want you to watch Elms on this throw. If that ball's just a little bit higher and over him, that's a completion. Instead, Devon Moore does a great job at playing underneath it. And those eyes get big. He's looking around. He knows he's taking it to the house. It's the 3rd takeaway tonight for Champlin Park's defense.
Hold is down, kick is up. Vogelbold's got his 3rd extra point of the night, and what a huge play in this game. Maple Grove starting to gain some momentum back, Ryan, and instead Champlin Park turns it back the other way.
Well, you got to think of it like this, John. 17-7, Maple Grove's driving. Their Elms have completed a couple in a row into a nice rhythm. If they're able to punch that in, it's 17-14, and we got ourselves a ball game. And that throw just a little bit underthrown. You can see he knows it. He puts a little bit more height on that ball and lofts it over Moore. That's a completion and maybe a big play. Instead, just a little bit underthrown, and Devon Moore does a great job playing that passing lane. You know, and that's what you want to do as a safety, as a linebacker. You want to get in those passing lanes so that if it is a poor throw or it is underthrown, you're available to make the interception. How about Champlin Park? Not only did they get the interceptions, but they look to score after they get the interception too.
Well, 21 points for Champlin Park off turnovers. That one obviously directly off the turnover.
I mean, that's really been the difference in the game tonight is takeaways, interceptions, 3 of them, and of course scoring after all 3 of them.
Kick will be handled. And it's Vey again who had the kick return for the touchdown last time. This time gets out past the 30 to the 31-yard line. That's where Maple Grove will start. I think will probably be their final possession of the half. I said 2 timeouts remaining for each team. Champlin Park actually with 3. Maple Grove with 2 timeouts left here in the late in the second quarter. Ryan Iverson is headed down to the field. He'll talk with both coaches at halftime. More playoff football coming your way next week and in the coming weeks here on CCX. By 6A, we have some good teams in 5A this year as well. And as we see the brackets, we'll set our TV schedule for games coming up. Maple Grove trying to see what they can do before halftime. Elms will go deep down the sideline. It's broken up and almost intercepted again. Canty, who had a pickoff earlier, almost had a second one there. Well defended by Canty. Outstanding track and field athlete, good football player too. He makes a big play there on defense. 2nd down and 10. Weary in the backfield with Elms. Elms wanting to throw. The ball is tipped at the line of scrimmage. And knocked down. Sam Knutson, senior defensive lineman, one of the captains for this team. Knocked that down. Trying to set up the little middle screen, and Knutson, 99, gets his hands up there and knocks it away. 3rd and 10. And now Champlin Park in a position where if they can make a stop here with all their timeouts remaining and get the ball back and perhaps a chance to put more points up on the board. So 3rd down and 10 again for Maple Grove here from their 30. Elms throwing to the sideline, overthrew his receiver and incomplete. Will Dampier on the coverage. That's 4th down. So 3 incompletions for Maple Grove, and Champlin Park will get the ball back with about a minute to play here before halftime. Evan Hammonds and Cam Hammonds, the brothers, who are back deep to receive the punt. Oh, and it gets blocked. Blocked, and it's going to be Champlin Park football at the 28-yard line. Daniel Baltus gets this one blocked. Cole Frederickson, senior defensive lineman, another captain for this team, gets the punt block. Not technically a turnover, but it's great field position for Champlin Park. They've got it at the 28 of Maple Grove. All 3 of their timeouts remaining, and still 61 seconds to go. Miller under some pressure, airs it out, trying to get it to Johnson, and incomplete. 2nd down and 10. Great start to this game for Champlin Park. Pull out a last-minute win last week against a good Tutino Grace team in the snow. And got an interception on the first play from scrimmage tonight. Turned it into a touchdown immediately. They've been rolling since then. Trying to get more here. Miller hits Johnson, makes a move, makes another move, cutting toward the end zone. He'll be brought down at the 1-yard line. Oh, they're going to say touchdown. It looked like he was down. They do signal TD on the far side. Now they're going to discuss it, I think. I think he's going to be short. It looked like he was down short. The officials are going to huddle on this and see what they can come up with. They're going to park him down at the 1, which I think is the right call. It looked like he was stopped just short. Heck of a play here by Johnson, and a couple of really nice moves to get himself free and toward the end zone. Weary trying to bring him down, and does as he reaches out with the football. Rebels are going to take timeout. Well, I don't know. NFL, that might have been a touchdown because he did reach out with the football. But they're going to mark him down at the 1. No replay. And at 45 seconds left, the Rebels will talk about it, but they're set up in prime position here with a 1st down and goal. Still 2 timeouts remaining. Reminder, each week on CCX on Sports Jam, we present our play of the week. You can go to our website at ccxmedia.org, vote for your play of the week. Each week, 4 plays up. You vote, and you vote for which is your favorite. We announce the winner each Monday on Sports Jam, brought to you by Chick-fil-A of Maple Grove. Look at that play again. Johnson going down, Weary bringing him down. It does look like the knee is down there. Excellent call by the officials. They mark him just outside the end zone. It was close, but I think he was down by just a hair. So it'll be first down and goal, 2 timeouts remaining. They're within a yard of the end zone. Full house backfield behind Miller. He'll hand it off, ran into his back. No signal yet, and it is a touchdown. Rebels with the touchdown. And that time it was the fullback, Darius Gibbons, who had that block earlier. Also had a penalty, but a nice positive play here for Gibbons. Just kept moving there and didn't need much. Got the 1 yard for the touchdown. Vogel pulls extra point up and through. 36 seconds remaining in the first half. Now 31-7. Look at the run again by Gibbons. Second touchdown of the season for Darius Gibbons. So 14 more points here for Champlin Park in the last minute of play. It's all Rebels. Maple Grove 2 timeouts remaining, but I'm guessing they're not going to do anything too risky here. Get a good return, though, on a very short kick. And they'll have it out past their 45. So maybe a chance to get downfield in a couple of plays with that kind of field position. Let's start from their 44. 29 seconds left, 2 timeouts to go. Let's see how Coach Lombardi's Crimson play this year. Champlin Park will get the ball to start the second half. Wakeside the back, next to Elms from the 44 of Maple Grove. And Elms wanting to throw. Steps up now. He's got a strong arm, rifling it down the middle of the field. Tipped and incomplete. Well covered. O'Cansey back on the coverage of Overly, along with Cam Hammonds. And it's second down. Overly going up, but look at O'Cansey coming up over the top. From the 44, again, second down and 10. Elms stepping up again. Short throw and incomplete. Didn't see much there. Just wisely kind of threw it away. Didn't want to avoid, or didn't want to risk any kind of a risky throw. And it's third down with 12 and a half seconds left. Maple Grove will use a timeout here, leaving them with 1. Playoff time in high school football next week for the section playoffs. Section volleyball starts next week. State tournament action in girls tennis and boys and girls soccer. All coming up next week. Section competition in cross country, and fall season already starting to wind down. Hard to believe. Get to mid-October. Great first half for Nick Keenan's club on the Champlin Park side. 24-point lead. Let's see what the Crimson dial up here on 3rd down and 10. Late second quarter. Helms on the rush, and down he goes. Evalecci leading the charge for Champlin Park. Rebels will take timeout with 5.9 seconds to go. Obi Evalecci, the outstanding senior linebacker, first of 3 to drop Elms there for a loss. Loss of 11. Well, the last punt was blocked, so Champlin Park, and they almost got to the one before that. Walt is back, standing at his 19-yard line. Frederickson blocked the last one. He had a good rush again and gets the kick away. Bound to be down by Maple Grove at the 39-yard line. That is the end of the first half. What a half it was for Champlin Park. Interception on the first play from scrimmage. On defense, touchdown on the first play of scrimmage from offense. When they go from there, the lone Maple Grove points coming on the long kickoff return by the sophomore Micah Veilley. And it's 31-7. Baby powder time at Maple Grove, with the Rebels fans on the other side happy with the way their team has played, and they should be, with the outstanding first 24 minutes of play here tonight at Maple Grove. You do a little laundry after the game tonight, and hope your phone still works. Ryan Iverson has made his way down to the field to talk to the coaches. We'll hang on for a moment so we can catch Coach Keenan here. Let's go down to the field. Yeah, let's go down now. Ryan Iverson standing by with Nick Keenan.
Coach, I imagine on your bus ride here, you're thinking, this would be a great start. Why don't we get an interception on the first play, and next play we'll score a touchdown? And here it happened perfectly. What a start for your team.
Yeah, it was a great start to to this game for our team. We're playing for a lot, and the kids know it. Like I talked to you before the game, the kids are playing for a conference championship, and we're playing for the #1 seed. And it's the first time we played on turf, and I wanted to see our team on turf, and I like what I see.
Well, great football teams, they do it in all phases of the game. You had defense, 3 interceptions. You got your special teams making great plays, offensively making great plays. You guys are very well balanced. Is that something that you've stressed to these guys?
Yeah, especially offensively, we can run it, we can throw it, but defensively, these kids every game, are looking to shut people out. We've only given up 3 scores in the last 4 games. Our starting defense, these guys believe in what they're doing. It's just fun to see.
31-7. How do you tell your kids at half that, hey, this isn't over yet? We still got to have to play. They are 16, 17, 18-year-old kids. How do you get them ready to come out and fight in the second half?
Well, maybe sound like a cliche, but I don't need to say much. This group is so talented, and the leadership of all these kids is so great. I don't have to say anything. They're hungry for a conference championship.
Last question. If you're our viewers that haven't seen you guys play this year, how would you describe your football team?
Well, you used the word balanced. I like that. But these guys play for each other, and they don't, give up any play. They play every play like it's their last, and that's what I love about them.
Well, off to a great start. Good luck in the second half. Thanks, Coach. All right, back to you, JJ.
All right. Thanks, Ryan. We will hear from Coach Lombardi before the start of the second half. As we go to break, look at the Maple Grove dance line out on the field. Our halftime score, Champlin Park 31, Maple Grove 7, and more from Maple Grove High School after this timeout.
One in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your boss, your boss's boss, you, your barber, your barber's barber.
Nice work. Thanks.
Or you, your co-pilot, your co-pilot's co-pilot. With early diagnosis, pre-diabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
"31-7, the Rebels leading the Crimson. A little youth football going on at night. Flag football starts in the Maple Grove Youth Football Association, and it's second grade, and kids getting a little chance to run around here at halftime of tonight's varsity game. Let's look at highlights from the first half of play in this one, and here's the very first play from scrimmage. Nate Elms' pass getting picked off by DJ Miles, and Miles with a great return. Ryan Iverson brought it back inside the 15-yard line, and it says the very next play, Jace Miller to Brock Johnson for the touchdown, and the Rebels are off and running.
Well, they had quite the connection, didn't they, in the first half? That's quarterback trust with your wide receivers is huge, and it was starting to get away, and this was a very, very big play at the time.
Micah Bay on the kickoff return brought it back 87 yards for a touchdown. They made it 17-7 in the second quarter, but that was really the highlight of the half for Maple Grove. The Rebels going back to work on offense with an interception there. Maple Grove getting a stop. Yep. Got one there for Bortnam.
Well, and I thought Maple Grove played really well there for about a 6-minute stretch, offensively, defensively, and of course that another turnover, interception. Really nice job by Devon Moore getting in that passing lane and capitalizing on another interception. And of course, always when I go down to halftime for the interviews, something big's going to happen, and you get the big play there to Brock Johnson.
Johnson in the first half had 4 catches, 2 of them for touchdowns, and 69 yards on those 4 catches. You look at the total yards in the first half, 177-60 in favor of Champlin Park. Double the number of first downs. 1 turnover for Champlin Park, 3 for Maple Grove, and big number there. Yep. 21 points off the turnovers for the Rebels.
No, that really stands out, and you see both teams, very few penalties tonight, which has been kind of nice to see. But I think you talk about Champlin Park, John, you think offense initially, but I look at that. Maple Grove's been playing really well offensively the last few games. You hold the team to 60 total yards, 1 rushing yard. I mean, that's a dominating statistic right there in the first half.
Let's look at some other scores from around the area involving local CCX teams. Wayzata looking to go unbeaten on the regular season. Number 1 team, 21-0 over Burnsville. Creighton-Durham Hall up on Titina Gray, 7-6. How about that? But Ilde St. Margaret's being shut out at halftime, 18-0.
We did one of their games early in the year. They were as good as anyone we've seen this year, and that's surprising.
Providence Academy, 19-0 lead over St. Croix Lutheran at halftime. Senior night tonight at Maple Grove. The high school seniors and their parents all being introduced before tonight's game. I'm sure you remember senior night back in the day at Eden Prairie. Always nice for recognition for the parents who, drove their kids for years to youth football or whatever, to practices, and to get them the games and support them here at the games, right?
One thing you notice when you're a parent, it's a lot colder standing in the stands than it is out there playing, right? And you got a son coming up through Maple Grove in a couple of years. You'll be out there.
I'll be out there.
He'll be giving
3
you
years.
a rose.
Right. Or his mom.
I'll be doing the play-by-play of that.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah. No, a lot of fun. It's great job recognizing the seniors, and they're always a foundation behind a team and a program, so really well done.
Champlin Park 31, Maple Grove 7. Take another break, come back with more of our halftime and the second half of play. High school football from the Metro North District coming up on CCX.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzz and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Back at halftime, it's Champlin Park 31, Maple Grove 7. Halftime, tonight's football game between the Rebels and the Crimson. And saw the numbers and the highlights before. Mostly all Champlin Park, as the score obviously would indicate here at halftime. Well, the mention before the half, busy time for playoffs in all sports. Tuesday night, very busy night for high school soccer around the area, including Maple Grove girls who are here at home. And really had a tough battle with St. Michael Albertville. That was one of the few scoring chances in regulation. And it finally went to a shootout. And Maple Grove able to convert. Making the save was Sarah Cortez, and they win 4-3 in the shootout. And the goal here from Lauren Bredensteiner proved to be the winner. Maple Grove back to state for the third straight year in girls soccer. They win Section 8 AA 1-0 with that shootout victory over the Knights of STMA. Champlin Park girls, they were at home and taking on Roseville area. Really weren't many scoring chances in this one for Roseville, and not even for Champlin Park. Finally able to convert on the goal late in the match, making Carlson scoring on the rebound. And with 1:42 left, that goal helped send the Rebels to the state tournament for the first time in school history, 1-0 over Roseville as they win Section 5 AA, the number 1 team in the state right now in girls soccer. And up at Brainerd, Maple Grove boys had to travel. They were the number 2 seed behind the Warriors. Brainerd scoring on a first half penalty kick to go ahead 1-0. But Maple Grove gets 2 goals in the second half, and they win it by a final score of 2-1. They head to state and missed out last year, went in 2017, so their second trip of the last 3 years. And the Crimson taking down Brainerd to win the Section 8 AA Boys Championship. So congratulations to all those teams representing these 2 schools, and will be in the state tournament starting next week, though. have the seeding for both the boys and the girls tournaments on Saturday, and those teams will know where they'll go. Could be Tuesday, Wednesday, or next Thursday for their state quarterfinal round appearance. Let's go back down to the field. Ryan Iverson standing by with Matt Lombardi.
Coach, one of the stats that we looked at was points off of turnovers, 21 for them. Obviously, any coach, you look at those takeaways. What did you think of them there in the first half?
That was, obviously give Champlin credit. That's something that we've lived off of for a long time, and they created the turnovers. And I thought we played desperate that half. I thought just on both sides of the ball. Defensively, when you jump 3 times on 3rd and short, quarterback was trying to make desperate decisions all the time, and I think offensive line, you could just see the momentum of the game, and we didn't handle that well. And so I just kind of said this half, just settle down and play within each other. And I go, desperate's never good. And I thought they forced our hand and made us into a desperate football team, and they took advantage of it, and that's what happened.
One of the characteristics of you and your football teams is you don't quit. You fight to the end. 31-7, it's a big obstacle, but what do you tell these kids? What are you looking for in the second half that you'll be pleased with?
Well, you can't make it up in one play. So I said, get them on their heels, and if you just give momentum and you give momentum, and hopefully we can put them in a situation of unrest down the road. And so you can't make up 24 points in a play. And so I just wanted to play better. I'm going to go out there with belief and realize we belong on the field with this team. And then after that, just hit them in the mouth, and then see how the half ends up.
Hey, lastly, you got the Tackle for Cancer shirt on. How important is that to you personally and just with your community? You guys do such a great job of raising that awareness.
We've had a lot of very close to home situations this year in our program, and so I think it's brought a lot of awareness to our kids and our families, and they've really come together. And so we've kind of worn this in honor of a few kids that have really fought through some things this year, and like I said, we want to know as a family we love them.
Puts football in perspective, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
All right, good luck in the second half, Coach. All right, back to you, JJ.
All right. Thanks, Ryan. Thanks to both coaches for taking a few moments with us. Ryan will be back up here with us for the start of the second half. We'll take a break and come back with the second half kickoff. Rebels will get the ball first. 31-7, Champlin Park up at halftime.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
There is baby powder everywhere. Crimson Stadium is filtered up here to the press box. Mostly in the student section, covering the field. It looks like a fog, but it's not. We get started for the start of the second half. Champlin Park with that 24-point lead. Nothing for them. They just want to, you're not going to win the half by 24 points again, but you want to play strong. You don't let up. Coach Keenan had told Ryan there at the end of the first half. Good strong leg on the kickoff by Bay to begin the second half on the kickoff, and a good downfield tackle down at the 21-yard line. That's the kind of play you're talking about to start the second half. You get a good special team tackle by Joe Schmidt there. And Champlin Park will start the second half at their 22-yard line. 108 yards rushing for the Rebels in the first half, 69 through the air.
And really, statistically, not dominant offensive stats, but you got to remember touchdown off of an interception, and then they had those short fields to work with too. It was interesting. I asked Coach Lombardi, you always want to know what do you really think? What are you looking for? Because you hate to say you don't think you're going to win the game, but what are you looking to watch? And I love what he said. I'm just looking for us to get better, play good football, try to make them uncomfortable, and good start there on that special teams tackle.
Shipman with an 8-yard gain on first down. 15 carries for 93 yards for him tonight. 2nd down and 2 from the 30.
Well, we remember, of course, Maple Grove had a running back for quite a few years that seemed to get stronger with more carries.
Evan Hull now on Northwestern squad. Shipman, I don't think he's going to get the first down on this play anyway. He'll be a yard short. It'll be 3rd down and 1.
I got to ask, John, you know, your son's in the Maple Grove School District. What is with the baby powder up in the air? I had to walk through that. Right. And my black jacket is now white. You can see it. There's a great job by our cameraman.
I don't know where the tradition started, if you want to call it that, but been going for a couple of years here. It's in my nostrils, right?
I know I smell good, right? I smell like a baby's butt right now, but it's just such a different thing. I'm just not used to it, but it's kind of fun to see.
3rd down and 1. And the give to Shipman. He's up the middle to the 45-yard line, and a first down for Champlin Park. Tackle made by Nate Becker.
Think about how nice of a luxury that is. If you're Champlin Park, you got Sean Shipman back there, and you know when it's 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, you know for almost certainty he's going to be able to get the push and get a first down. And that's such a luxury to not only have that kind of a running back, but to have that talent up front that you trust your linemen enough to do that consistently.
He'll get the call again and right up the middle and go for about 3 yards. For the most part, the line up front has gotten a decent push. Not haven't dominated necessarily, but they've been more than solid.
No, and the Rebels strike me as someone, if they were in a really close game, they'd wear on you. You know, the size and with Shipman, and they just keep coming at you. And again, you see great size up front. These guys did, when weight is on you throughout, over and over again throughout the game, it just wears on you. You get tired out, especially when you're giving up size.
They'll go to Shipman again, trying to break it out left side. Still on his feet. Ball did not come out. He able to keep it close. Becker trying to get it away, but he keeps it. It's down to the 44-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 2.
And a kind of a compliment here to both teams. You know, Maple Grove's defense, I think, doing a pretty nice job with Shipman. But then to your point, he's over 100 yards now already. So, that's a sign of a really good offense and a really good running back when it doesn't seem like they've done a whole lot, but statistically over 100 yards. And again, you can get those 5 or 6 yards. You set up 3rd and manageable. This is where you just put the trust in your big guys up front and in your running back.
19 carries, 107 yards now for Shipman. On the draw, Shipman gets the first down, 5 yards out to the 49-yard line.
Well, we hadn't seen that kind of a play yet tonight. Really nice little drop play, but almost like they was rolling out, Jace Miller was. And you can see it looks like it's going to be a pass to the right. You see Shipman take those first few steps, a little misdirection. He's got lots of space and, again, very sure tackling, but 4 or 5 yards down the field.
From the 49-yard line, 1st down and 10, first drive here of the second half. And the give, Shipman again into Maple Grove territory. Got a couple of yards to the 48. No, it is not Shipman that time, not 23, instead it's 32. That's Rashard Scott, senior running back, picking up a couple of yards.
Well, and I didn't want to ask Coach Keenan this, but you almost wonder with a comfortable lead like this, if they were to get another score, at what point do you start thinking about the postseason and keeping guys healthy and, especially as running back? And, I'm not sure if we'll see Shipman again or not. I think it depends on how the Rebels do.
Scott turns sidewise. Johnson and Anthony Gibson on the stop. Jake Johnson and Gibson help drive him back for a loss on the play of 1 back to the 50.
Well, and those are 2 of the best linebackers around. And we talked about them in the pregame. We talked about them some in the first half. They have to have more plays like that where they are in their penetration. They shoot gaps, and they're extremely aggressive. They got to hit home runs like that and get to the backs in the backfield. And now you set up a 3rd and long, and this is the kind of down and distance I think Maple Grove was hoping to put Jace Miller in throughout the game.
Johnson comes in motion, 3rd down and 9 from midfield. Miller ran into his running back, and he is going to go down. Sacked by Jake Johnson. Joe Schmidt late on the play, but it was Johnson that wrapped him up and dropped him for a 6-yard loss.
Different running back in there. You can see just the timing a little bit off. And Jace Miller, you can see how big and strong he is. It took 2 of them to get him down. He's a big boy, but a nice job by Jake Johnson. And again, that's where if you can get Champlin Park in that 3rd and long with Maple Grove, the way they bring pressure and the way they can blitz, I think that's what they would have had to have done to be more successful here tonight.
Miller came up limping a little bit at the end of that play too. He didn't look like he's in terrible pain over there, but let's see how much he goes the rest of the night. Bogle the punt, good kick, fair caught, back at the 24. So not much for yardage on that drive, Ryan, but they do pick up a couple of first downs and chew up nearly half the third quarter there. Almost 6-minute drive.
And if you were to ask, I think probably both of these coaches in truth serum, they would have no problem just getting to the end with no one getting hurt. And I think if you're Maple Grove right now, you want to try to build some momentum with your offense, try to get some spark, try to get a rhythm going that they can take from this game and carry it into their first playoff game. And if you're Champlin Park, you got to feel like, hey, even though we gave up 7 points in a kick return, we're pitching a shutout on defense. We want to keep that going.
Cooper Wegside, first down run, and gets out past the 30 to the 32, maybe 33-yard line. Before he's brought down by Obi Avalecha. Wegside tonight, 6 carries for 9 yards. Before that carry, gained about 9 yards itself.
Well, Lakeside, he's got great speed, and he's a tough kid. We talked about only 5'5", 165 pounds, but he uses that speed really well, and that was a big gain there on first down, something they did not do much of in the first half.
2nd down and 1, Elms will keep and get a first down. Past the 35 to the 36, gain of a couple. Knutson on the stop.
But I thought it was really interesting, too, what Coach Lombardi was talking about of, almost in the sense we tried to make the perfect play. We tried to make the big play. We're desperate. And it's so true that sometimes, you just got to be yourself and do what you've been doing all year to be successful. And, I think Maple Grove, if they're able to get back to that, which they have here on this early part of this drive, they can be successful.
From the 36, pitch goes to Wegside and can't run out of the tackle of Fredrickson. Gains a yard to the 37.
I'll tell you, that defensive line with Cole Fredrickson and Sam Knutson, those guys are athletic, they're big, they're fast, they can move, and they're strong. And that's what you need to be a great defense. You got to be solid up front, and you got to have great tacklers at linebacker, along with some good athletes in the secondary that can come up and help make plays.
Yeah, good tackle, defensive tackles, Gavin Rosted and Anakin Yang, and I interviewed Obi Avalecha and Noah Link for a story last month, and they credited their defensive line, and Nick Keenan did too, allowing those guys to make so many tackles because their defensive line is so engaged up front with the offensive line. Good play on the pass. Elms finds a receiver in the inside of 30-yard line, all the way down to the 28 on a good gain on the pass. It's Aiden McMahon, sophomore, and look at it again.
Yeah, the fullback.
The backfield.
Goes out into the flat, a nice job, good play action, roll out for Elms to his left, an easy throw and catch, and a really nice job by McMahon there, just getting it and then making a play out of it. That's not an easy throw either when you're rolling to your left like that as a right-handed thrower. Look at McMahon, you see those eyes up, he knows where the seams are, and that's a big play for this offense.
And a gain of 34 yards down to the 29 of Champlin Park. First down rush up, and it'll go gain 5 yards. Elms make it 2nd down and 5.
When I asked Coach Keenan, what do you tell? These are high school kids. They're up 31-7. How do you keep them, engaged. And you get the feeling right now just by watching this drive, Maple Grove a little bit more urgency in this drive. And it's human nature to relax, even just a hair when you got a big lead. So I'm sure that's something Coach Keenan will talk to his kids about, of keeping that edge, keeping that urgency.
Wakeshide. It's hit in the backfield, falls forward, gains a couple of yards. First contact made by Gavin Rothstead, the junior defensive lineman. Gain of 2 to bring up 3rd and 3.
Well, think of that first quarter. We had all that scoring. It took quite a while to play. Here we are. We're already under 3 minutes. You know, we haven't had an incompletion. We've had a lot of runs, and third quarter has gone by relatively quick.
Elms will keeps got a first down. How did he find that seam? And he's inside the 15-yard line for first down before Cam Hammonds brought him down. That's a gain of 9.
Well, watch that. I love the quick decision there. Do you see him make that decision? And look at how low he runs too. And again, we talked about his size as well. He's got good strength. That's why he's got, leads their team in rushing touchdowns, because he's so big and strong and a very capable runner. 8 rushing touchdowns on the year. See, he's capable of getting 5, 6, 7 yards on a quarterback sneak.
Play action. Throw back to his left, gets the completion. Angle the end zone, in for the touchdown. Jacob Angle with the touchdown catch. Elms with the toss, and a nice drive from Maple Grove, and they put 6 more points up on the board.
Oh, that was a heck of a drive. Great mix of running and throwing the football. A couple of big plays through the air. That was a beautiful play call right there. You can see a rollout to the right, and you send your tight end Angle across the field over the left, and there is nobody in front of him. An easy throw. Actually, it was a low throw. That was not an easy catch by Angle. Had to go down to his ankles. Watch his concentration. Everything's flowing over to the right. You send Angle over to the left, and he finds himself wide open. Shoestring catch, and able to get into the end zone.
And they go for 2, and they get the completion for the 2-point conversion as they go back to McMahon, who caught the long pass earlier in the drive, and that makes it 31-15, so a 2-score game.
And don't you always wonder when games like this, like, where was that in the first half, right? And part of it's because some of the pressure might be alleviated because it's a 2 or 3 score game. But you watch that drive, and this offense looks every bit as capable or as good as any other offense we've seen, this fall. And you can see Nate Elms, when he has the chance, the ability to set his feet and throw, he is extremely accurate, and he's got a strong arm. Look at that touchdown. I had a great misdirection. That's a hard play to defend. That's one of those I think Coach Lombardi will keep in his back pocket for the playoffs when it's a much needed down and distance. And
there's a 2-point conversion.
How about the sophomore, McMahon, listed as a linebacker, but getting some catches out of the backfield as a fullback.
That touchdown catch for Jacob Engel, his 3rd of the year, his 11th catch of the season, 6th touchdown pass of the year for Nate Elms. Kickoff, return, and out past the 25-yard line. Tommy Oyero. And that's where the Rebels will have it with minute 47 to play here in the 3rd quarter.
You think we'll see Sean Shipman on this drive?
I don't know. I would think maybe after the like I said, it's a 2-score game. You need 2 touchdowns and 2-point conversions, but we'll see. Yeah, 23's back out there.
That's just great camera work right there. The minute we said his name, our camera people find him in the huddle. Awesome job. He's heading back out there.
Yeah, and perhaps if it were still 31-7, but now coaches are never, totally going to be at ease. It's 1:47 left in the game maybe, but there's still a lot of football to be played, and a lot can happen. Shipman and Maple Grove gets up on the tackle, and they stop him for a short gain.
Well, that was
Aaron Tollefson in on the stop.
And Gibson was there too. That was a tale of two remarkable plays. 2-yard gain, you're thinking whoopity-doo, but Gibson in the backfield, or somebody hit him in the backfield, looked like Gibson. Shipman able to elude that, get a couple yards, and then Gibson came back into the play to make the tackle. That was a remarkable tackle.
2nd and 8 to give to Shipman again, and he ends up the middle and gets close to a first down. Tackle made by Jake Johnson. Excuse me, Ryan.
No, there's a certain burst, isn't there, when you see a great running back? It's hard to describe. It's just different. And he's got it.
3rd down and 2. Ball at the 33 of Champlin Park. Another big play in this game. We're down to 45 seconds to play here in the 3rd quarter. Miller will give it to Shipman. And he gets a first down out past the 35 to the 36, gain of 3.
Well, anytime they've ran to the outside, they've gotten enough push where, not huge plays, but Shipman able to get 4 or 5 yards pretty consistently on those. And again, he runs hard and he's strong enough where he's getting that contact, he's moving that pile forward. But a nice job on that left edge there of the offensive line. You see there's Mujahid, nice job blocking from that left tackle spot.
Rebels walking toward the sideline. Is going to be, looks like the final play of the 3rd quarter. Fourth quarter to come. Our score after 3. Champlin Park 31, Maple Grove 15. We're back with more Tackle Cancer Night here at Maple Grove. Most of the fans have stayed 31-15 as we head to the 4th quarter. Maple Grove getting the only points there of the 3rd. Champlin Park will have the ball, first down and 10 from their 36 as we begin the 4th quarter. I think maybe we'll see that first team defense for Champlin Park out on the field again too, after I'm sure disappointed giving up the long TD drive there to Maple Grove after controlling play for almost all of that first half. Shipman, they fake it to him. Miller going deep downfield and incomplete, trying to hit Witt and overshot him. Tom Witt, the senior wide receiver.
Well, again, a safe shot down the field, right? Down the sideline. You have your quarterback. If you trust him, you got to throw this long and to the outside. If we miss, it can't be underthrown where it's an interception. So I love the shot. They've been running the ball so successfully. You take a shot down the field, it's a great call, just not quite executed perfectly. I got to get one of those CCX hats. The football has one, John, and I can't.
You don't have one. That's a crime. What of a cool night. Oh, what a hit on 2nd down run.
Nate Becker from his defensive end position, unblocked, just comes right down the line. That is a tackle.
Oh, you love plays like this as a defender, don't you?
You just do. And kind of, Shipman, I don't think saw him, so he wasn't quite ready for it. So that's just a free shot right there. And you can see Maple Grove pumped up, fired up. Coach Lombardi said, hey, let's just get better in the second half. Let's play better. Let's make them a little bit nervous. And I got to think he's got to be happy with what he's seen.
No doubt.
8-0 in the 3rd quarter. That was a great hit. And again, 3rd and long for the Rebels offense.
Miller rolling out on 3rd down and 11. Throw was downfield, almost intercepted, was it?
Yes.
Yes, it was, picked off.
Guess who?
Brandon Bortnam had one earlier, and it looks like he got this one. Maple Grove will have the ball at the 41.
Wow. That was a great catch. I thought he was going to bobble it and drop it. Look at that ball on his knee, but his knees were down inbounds. That is a heck of a catch.
When I first came out, I thought it had hit the ground, but he kept it the whole time.
I'll tell you what Bortnam does such a great job of is, you can see, look at that. His head was turned. He wasn't even facing the ball. Got his eyes around at the last second. Coach Lombardi, look at it. You think he's fired up? Look at him. We got to get a replay of that. He is pumped up. That was a big-time play by Bortnam.
Helms trying to strike quick, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Link. So they got the momentum back for a play, and then Link comes back and steals it back for
that's a huge
Champlin
play.
Park.
Yeah. John, they go down and score. It's a one-score game. Instead, Link, again, they kind of tried to run a little misdirection, rolling to the right, throwing back to the left. That ball hung in the air just a little bit too long. And Noah Link, who's had himself a ball game tonight, made a great play on the ball. See, that's a hard throw when you're throwing all the way across the field. And a nice job by Link just reading it and then attacking the ball, making a nice play.
Back to the ground game to Shipman. Again, not much going for him in his last couple drives here. Stop for giving the momentum, the forward progress of a yard, but it was generous to get that much.
Well, I think you gotta, this Crimson defense, John, for the most part has been solid tonight. Yes, 31 points, but again, we talked about some of those are on defense, that the interceptions, and then of course a really short field.
Yeah, a couple of times.
Yeah, but they've done a pretty consistent job here of going against I think one of the best running backs in the metro area.
Shipman will get the call on second down, trying to bounce outside, cuts it back at the 50, has a first down, and brings it all the way down to the Maple Grove 45-yard line, and a gain of 11.
And here's what sets that up, John, is he's got that great speed, and you can see guys are flying full speed to get to him on the edge, and he just does that little stutter cut back to the inside. Guys overrun it, and it doesn't seem like much, but there's a gain of 11, 12 yards on it, and it's just little details like that are what make a good running back.
First down and 10 from the 45. Shipman gets the carry. Man, he is driven back. No gain. Gibson coming up and making the stop.
Even if I hadn't seen the number, just by the way that formed tackle, I knew it was Gibson. Those guys tackle low, heads up with their pads. They wrap up. They are some of the best one-on-one tacklers around. I thought it was interesting too. Nick Keenan talked about seeing his guys on turf for the first time. Remember they play on an all-grass field, and when you got speed and playmaking ability, as we see right there, when you get on turf, it tends to help you a little bit. So I think he mentioned it a couple times. So I think that's a big thing to watch. And of course, if you get to the state semifinals, you're playing at indoors at US Bank Stadium.
That was the 28th carry of the night for Sean Shipman, 139 yards. Need to work a little more here in the second half for some of those yards. On third down, Miller stepping up, and it's knocked down. Incomplete. Gibson with the pass breakup.
And those are the kind of throws I think that Jace Miller's got to be real careful with. If you take a sack and you have to punt, okay, you change field position a little bit, but when you throw those ones that can be picked off, those are the ones that can really hurt your team. And he's got to be real careful with those kind of throws.
.8:48 to play here in the fourth quarter. Vogel pull back to punt. 16-point Champlin Park lead as he'll try to pin the Crimson back inside their 20 if he can. Pretty good rush. Vogelpohl has time to get it away. It'll be fair caught. Back inside the 10-yard line at the 9. And that's where Maple Grove will take over. Devin Hornbacher on the fair catch. A long field for the Crimson offense to try to traverse, trailing by 16.
Well, and that's complementary football as well. Okay, our offense doesn't have a good rhythm right now. Take care of the football. We'll punt. We'll trust our defense. We haven't seen Maple Grove drive the length of the field on our defense yet. Let's see if they can do it now. When you have a defense that you can trust, then you don't have to take as many chances offensively.
First down and 10. Elms to throw over the middle, gets the completion. And a good gain to Luke Raymond. They'll gain a first down. Gets it out to the 20, a gain of 12. Raymond's first catch tonight.
Yeah, that's a great catch. That ball is a little bit behind. You can see it. Look at, he's hanging on with his fingertips. With Will Dampier draped all over him, but able to hang on to it. That's a great catch. Pretty well covered as well, but a nice little window there. Elms sticks it in there and just great concentration, able to hold on to the ball.
Elms to throw. It is tipped and caught for another first down out past the 35. Almost intercepted and instead caught by Engel and a gain of 12 yards.
Well, Jacob Engels had a really nice game. That was great concentration. Okay, watch this coverage. I mean, there is not much space to put this ball. Excellent coverage, but look at the concentration. As soon as that ball is tipped, Engels' eyes are following it. He's able to track it in. Back-to-back first downs on throwing.
Make it a gain of 17 to the 37, and Wakeshide on the run out to the 44 gets 7 on first down.
And again, now you're starting to see a rhythm for the Crimson offense, John. You're seeing some quick throws, some decisive throws by Elms, and then they're a nice run right up the middle, which they have not been able to do yet tonight. And Wakeshide gets a good 7-8 yards there on first down.
Second down and 4. Elms play action. Little roll out, throw, and off the hands of the fullback McMahon, and incomplete. Third down.
Pretty accurate throw. I think Elms has been pretty accurate tonight. I think the only trouble he's gotten in are when he isn't able to plant off that back foot and really step into it. His ball can hang sometimes in the air. You see, they're probably watching CCX on their,
no doubt,
on their iPad.
Right.
That's dedication fans right there.
Third down and 4. Elms under rush, and down he goes. Nolan Link blows in and gets the sack back at the 37-yard line. A loss of 7.
He timed it perfectly. And you can see, I think Wakeshide was the one that was supposed to pick him up here at the right of our screen. And just great time. He ran right around it, and that play didn't have a chance. Elms, before he even had a chance to see what was happening, Noah Link was right in his grill. Big play. He's had a big game tonight.
And fourth down. They'll kick it away. Kicked by Baltus. Will go out of bounds. There it goes, out of bounds at the 32-yard line. We've got 6 minutes and change to play here in the fourth quarter. Champlin Park up 31-15. They have not scored here in the second half, though.
You know, and you get the feeling right now they would love nothing more than about a 5.5-minute drive, running the football. Just right now they're looking at that clock. Let's get out of here healthy and with the win. And we talked about seeding, and they'll be the number 1 seed presumably, you know, going into the playoffs. It's wide open this year for maybe the first time in the last few years. You don't have a dominant team. Wayzata, of course, having a really strong year.
This is Hammonds on the direct snap, and he'll bring it out past the 35 to the 36-yard line. Cam Hammonds, junior, is a backup quarterback to Miller, but a foot shorter. He's a tough little runner. We saw him a few weeks ago in our TV game against Osseo, and picks up 4 yards there on first down.
It looks like he's limping a little bit, but nothing bad. But I think of, all the teams I've seen in the big school level, I'd have to put Wayzata and Champlin Park as the 2 best I've seen. What are your thoughts, John?
I wouldn't disagree with that at all. Shipman will try to go outside and brought down for a very short gain. Jaden Matchett, who's been in a number of tackles tonight, makes the stop. And it'll be 3rd down and about 4 to go for Hammonds and the Rebels.
Jace Miller looked there on the sideline, and his night probably over. And got to feel pretty good about how he played tonight. Had a couple of nice throws, threw a couple of touchdowns. But yeah, I think, for the last few years, Lakeville North last year I thought was head and shoulders above everyone. A few years before that, it was Eden Prairie for a number of years. This year, I think Wayzata is as talented as anybody, and defensive and offensive lines as dominant as anybody. But I think Champlin Park has a real shot if they play well.
Hammonds brought down. Very short gain as Nate Becker makes another stop. Even a loss of 1 there. So 5 yards gain for Champlin Park on those 3 running plays. And Maple Grove will use its first time out here in the second half. 2 remaining. So Crimson will get to the ball back. Ryan still with a shot here, still a long shot the way the score is. But again, it's 2 scores. But you got to strike fairly quickly here in the first one.
They need a big play. They need to go after the punt here, and be aware too of a hard count here by Champlin Park, trying to get Maple Grove maybe to jump again and pick up the first down via penalty. But if Maple Grove is able to get some pressure, get a block or a big return, we've seen. I always go back to 2 years ago when we saw the Maple Grove St. Michael Albertville game. We've seen a lot crazier things than 16 points in 4.5 minutes. And part of that's coaching. You teach your kids to never give up and to keep believing, because if you believe, great things can happen.
Vogel high snap. Blockers pick up the rush though. And fair caught. And Maple Grove will have the football at their 32. And trailing here by 16 to go. With 4:31 to go, 16 points. Champlin Park trying to go to 7-1 in the season. Maple Grove on the verge of dropping to 4-4. But still, certainly a home game here a week from Friday for the Crimson, and Champlin Park will have a home game as well that night.
And throw the records out too, because their 4 losses are to 4 really, really good football teams. So they're gonna be entering the playoffs not scared of anybody.
Yep.
Having seen almost all the top teams in the state of Minnesota, so they know they can play with anybody, and that's what Coach Lombardi said is, hey, you guys belong out on the field. With a team like this, you got to believe it, and that's half of it, is just getting your team to believe in it.
Helms dropped it, and that allowed Knutson enough time to get in there and get the sack. Well, the game Sam Knutson's had tonight.
Yeah, he's been great. Noah Link's been great.
A lot of guys have been good on that defensive side. Fredrickson, Ovalecha.
They have a very complete football team. That's when it gets really fun, when you're on a team that's complete in every facet, because it's football, unlike even basketball, where if you have one great player, maybe 2, you can be dominant. Football, you have to have trust. You have to have all 11 guys playing at a high level when they're on the field. And Champlin Park is as complete as any team we've seen.
Second down and 16. And a tackle made in the backfield. There's Ovalecha coming up and tackling Spencer Weary.
Well, we talk about Maple Grove's sure tacklers. How about this linebacking core too for Champlin Park? That's not easy in space there. Pass out of the backfield, but a very nice open field tackle.
And a loss of 3. 3rd and 19 coming for the Crimson.
You said it was 3rd and 19 exactly when there was 3 minutes and 19 seconds left. That will not happen very often. Yep. This is going to be a big play.
Helms over the middle with the throw and incomplete. And it's 4th down for Maple Grove, and they'll punt.
Yeah, and that one, that's all about quarterback pressure right there. I think Helms had to get rid of it a little bit before he wanted to. If he's able to wait another half a second, let that route develop, that might be a home run there, but had to get rid of it because of the pressure.
Oh, dropping the football. I think he was down as he tried to pick it up a second time. Daniel Baltus unable to corral it, and Champlin Park will take over at the 12-yard line.
And it looked like it was a pretty good snap too, maybe just a tad low. But yeah, not a bad snap. And that's just as a punter, yeah, it's not an easy thing when you know guys are coming down on you there, and tried to rush it and unfortunately just tripped a little bit.
Well, Champlin Park will take over, not needing to score, but they certainly could here, being at the 12-yard line of Maple Grove. Crimson with 2 timeouts remaining, should they choose to use them on defense. I don't know that they will at this point.
Well, I like, Coach Keenan get some of the second team players in here. You got obviously not your starting quarterback, but you see Shipman out there.
Shipman does get the carry on 1st down, taking the handoff from Hammonds. And it's 3 yards down to the 9-yard line on his 29th and perhaps last carry of the night as he comes out here.
Well, keep in mind too, what are the 2 things that travel and that sustain in cold weather in football? It's running the football and playing good defense. You see a lot of high-octane passing offenses struggle when it's windy or snowy or cold. Champlin Park can throw the football, but they have very good running game and also very good defense.
Rashard Scott, a pretty good hole, and he gets down inside the Maple Grove 5 down to the 3-yard line. A nice pickup there of 6 yards. 3rd down and less than 1 for the Rebels from the 3 of Maple Grove. Let that play clock run down. Come up to the line of scrimmage, 3rd down and short. Give to Shipman again, and he's not going to get the 1st down. Driven back. Gibson and friends will stop him, or Scott rather, not Shipman, on the carry. And it'll be 4th down and still about a yard to go.
Well, you know what I love? I love that you're giving your backup running back a chance to score a touchdown, right? Because that's something he can build off of and confidence for him. But equally as impressive, I love that the Crimson are still playing hard and not, like we talked about, the outcome of this game probably already decided, but playing with pride, not wanting to give up any points. You love competition. You love seeing it.
Wind the play clock down, perhaps take a timeout with a second to go to milk every second before, and that's exactly what happens. with 27 seconds to go. 4th down and 1 coming for the Rebels.
What would you do here, John? 4th and 1, would you go for it, or would you kneel it?
I would kneel it down here. Some updated scores from around the area. Brooklyn Center, a nice win at home to finish out the regular season. Wayzata up big on the way to an 8-0 season. Tutina Grace now has pulled ahead of Cretin-Derham Hall. Benilde St. Margaret's, how about that second half? Trailed 18-0, up 34-18. And Providence Academy up big on St. Croix Lutheran.
I was going to say Benilde St. Margaret's, they were so physical and dominant. The game we called and watching their scores throughout the year, they must have been late to the game there and showed up in the second half and took commanding lead. And there's Wayzata 34-6. They're going to be as dangerous as anybody in the playoffs.
We'll see what they do on 4th down. They will go with the play. A nice tackle on the play.
I know
by
who it is.
Gibson.
You can't even see it.
You don't have to see 7 to hear. You heard the head up here.
You hear it, and you just see that low form tackle driving backwards. He is a football player.
Gibbons was the ball carrier.
Watch this.
Again.
Watch that. Look at that hit. I'm not sure how many tackles. We don't keep stats of tackles, but he's got to have 15 tackles tonight, wouldn't you think?
Oh, indeed, yeah. They're going to bring out the sticks to measure. Gibbons had enough of a push initially, but then Gibson drove him back, but he'll be a little bit short. And so Maple Grove will get it back to run out the clock.
What do you think would be more amazing if Maple Grove were to score twice here in 21 seconds, or what we witnessed 2 years ago against St. Michael Albertville? That young man has had a heck of a football game, and that coach right there has got to be very proud of his group and the way they fought here in the second half. I think exactly what he was looking for, something to build off of, something to be proud of, and hang your hat on the defensive effort here in the second half.
Yeah, you can't forget the first half. It doesn't go away, but you like the way your team competed there in the second half. Wegside with a nice big hole up the middle, gets out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. And that will do it. 31-15 is the final. We're going to take a break. Ryan will head down to the field. We'll have our post game coming up. The Rebels finish out the regular season 7-1. 31-15 our final, and back with more on CCX after this.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. This is unacceptable, and something Feeding America is working to solve. Through a nationwide network of food banks, Feeding America serves virtually every community in the United States, including yours. See how you can help your community. Visit feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Winning Rebels wrapping up their team huddle as they celebrate a 31-15 win. They get off to a quick start and a 31-7 lead at halftime. Maple Grove scoring the only points of the second half on the 13-yard touchdown pass from Nate Elms to Jacob Engel. But it wasn't enough as Rebels win it by 2 scores, still 31-15. Lost to Centennial in September, but 7 wins, a great regular season for them. And they will head into the playoffs as a almost certain number 1 seed in the 6A playoffs. The seeding and the brackets will come out for that on Thursday, and we'll know within less than 24 hours who these teams will play in the first round of the 6A playoffs a week from Friday. Each will be at home. Let's go down to the field now. Ryan Iverson.
Hey, thanks, John. I'm here with Champlin Park with a bunch of stars. We got Devon Moore. I'm going to start with you quickly. Big play in the defense there. You did a great job of playing the passing lanes all night. You got that ball. It was a little underthrown, but you took it. Tell me how excited right away. Did you know you were going to take it to the house?
I had space, and I just knew I just had to run. I had one guy to beat, and then I was able to beat him.
So let me ask you a question. We always talk about balanced football team. You guys have a very good offense that gets a lot of attention, but defensively, you guys have put together a heck of a year. You're a big part of that. When the number ones go against each other in practice, number 1 offense versus number 1 defense, who wins that battle?
Most of the time, defense. It's always fun. It's very competitive. We love making each other better. Yeah. That's why we're ready for any challenge.
You guys are heading into the playoffs. You're 7-1 on the year, very an inch away from being undefeated this year. What do you guys have to do to make a run here into the playoffs?
We just got to keep executing and listening to our coaches and to what they have to tell us and just perform.
Well, congrats. Defensively, you guys had a great game. Congrats on your touchdown as well.
Thank you.
So, Coach Keenan, I'm going to talk to you for a quick second. So, what do you think of that number 1s versus each other in practice? Is that true? Does the defense usually win?
Yeah, he's right. But when the offense is feeling down, we let off a little bit so they get some confidence. And we give them the win sometimes to help them out a little bit. But he's about right at that.
So, we're talking about balanced football team. I thought you guys are as complete of a team as I've seen all fall. I mean, what are the things that you were looking for tonight that got answered for you as you head into the playoffs?
Well, the big thing was a nice night. You know, we play on the turf. The weather conditions weren't a problem, and I knew once we'd get on the turf, we got some good athletes on offense and on defense. But really, you know, we just talk about working hard, and we have great leaders on this team. They don't shy away from the goals that we have set. One goal is to win the district. We were co-champs tonight. I think we're going to get a number 1 seed. So we came here on the road, you know, district game versus, I thought, a quality team. Played pretty well.
Well, the gentleman next to you here, Sean Shipman, one of the most talented – I'm not done with you yet, Coach. One of the most talented running backs I've seen. What makes him special?
Well, he set himself up. He worked his butt off this offseason. You know, he barely missed a day, and if he did, he was at a camp. You know what I mean? So, and he took that on. You know, we had our running back last year transferred schools, but Sean knew it was his number. I talked to him all offseason, said, "You're going to be our guy," and he just took that and ran with it.
Well, congratulations on a great regular season. Best of luck in the postseason. Yeah. Sean, number 1 seed going into the playoffs. How big was tonight's performance for you?
I try to come out and execute. You know, the coaches had a great game plan. We came out, try to have a strong run game, and we're just trying to execute.
Well, one of the things I love about you is, number 1, your speed, but also more physicality this year. You look like you've added some weight, finishing your runs off strong. Is that something you've emphasized this year?
Yeah, especially in training, just running hard, trying to run people over.
They're Maple Grove known for their defense. Some good linebackers that can tackle. A couple plays you were able to get to the outside. You ended up with over 100 yards. How were you able to do that?
I was just trying to run off my blocks, just staying key to the run game, and just really just
make it happen.
Yeah, just making it happen.
If you had to compare yourself to an NFL running back, what style would you say you're most like?
Maybe Adrian Peterson or Saquon Barkley.
Are you the fastest guy on your team?
Yeah, it's between me and a DB.
All right, the big question here. So 7-1, you get the number 1 seed. Coach talked about playing on turf and utilizing your guys' speed. Did you notice a difference tonight playing on the turf? Because I do have some good news. The semifinals and Prep Bowl are played indoors on turf. Did you notice much of a difference tonight?
I wasn't really trying to focus on that, but you see we had that terrible game at Rosemont with the field. The field was terrible, but I just tried to stay focused and run to my best ability.
Last question, what do you guys have to do to keep moving forward in the playoffs and maybe make a run here at a state championship?
Really just limit mistakes, execute, and stay focused.
Awesome. Well, congrats on a great night tonight and a great regular season. Best of luck in the playoffs.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sean. Back up to you, JJ.
All right, thanks very much, Ryan. Thanks to those guys for taking a few moments after the game to speak with us, and a nice win for Champlin Park, as they said, on the road to close out the regular season against a quality team and improved to 7-1 on the season. Maple Grove finishes up at 4-4. Each will have a home playoff game coming up a week from Friday. We'll get plenty of playoff football on CCX coming in the next month. That'll do it for our telecast tonight, though, from Maple Grove High School. And for Ryan Iverson and all of our great crew, I'm John Jacobson. Final score again, Champlin Park 31, Maple Grove 15.